Time once again for another edition of Shelton City Council Looking Ahead with City Manager Mark Ziegler back in the chair as he took a little time off, which is well deserved. So, Mark, coming up Tuesday, study session, one topic. You're updating the council on the transportation impact fees. Can you
Yeah,
explain that a little bit for everybody?
absolutely. Yeah, and we're calling it transportation impact fees right now, but actually our code says traffic impact fees. So I think that's the first, I guess, item on the list of issues that we're addressing with council. Traffic impact fees don't fully capture, don't meet the RCW's definition. So transportation impact fees are more appropriate as those fees that are collected can benefit the entire transportation system, including pedestrians and bicyclists as well as motorists. So that's kind of first and foremost. But the intent of the study session really is to inform the council and the public of how transportation impact fees work statutorily, how the authority the city has to apply transportation impact fees, and then some cleanup as far as the TIP, which is the Transportation Improvement Program, and that's a 6-year program, a list of projects that are needed for capacity improvements, an update on that, and some guidance on what to add to that list. We recently adopted some infill development standards. That was 2 months ago or so. So we kind of had a gap in what would be required for somebody building on a lot, that's already platted. The street may be there, it might be gravel and sidewalk, various degrees of improvements, friendly improvements is what we call them, various degrees of that and what would be required. So that definition is a little bit different than the transportation impact fee definition in our code. So we want to marry those together so they're appropriate. And also memorialize and codify the credit portion of this. So if a developer, say it's a big subdivision, and they are improving an intersection that may be beyond the scope, or the impact of their project, they may receive transportation impact credits for their project. So if they're building 400 houses and they have a impact fee for each of those residential units, we would credit those for the work they put into to increase the capacity within the city that they may not otherwise be required to do under the project. So we don't have that memorialized and codified at this point, but we certainly want to do that because we have developers that are interested in putting in some of that infrastructure that might not be specifically beneficial to their project up front, but certainly, over time it may be, and it's cheaper for them to actually put in these projects and construct these projects than it is for the city. So it's mutually beneficial. City doesn't have to pay for it later. The contractor or developer can pay for it now. They get the credit on their impact fee for residential units, and the community benefits as a whole. So those are some of the issues to discuss next Tuesday.
Now, we want to not just focus on Tuesday, but we want to look a little bit further ahead as your next meeting on the 21st, your business meeting. It's budget time, I guess, even though for the city it's always budget time. But for the public, this is their opportunity to weigh in on the city's proposed budget for next year, right?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we, as I've told the council, the budget's a dynamic document. We manage it year round, even though we adopt it usually in November of each year for the following year. This is a document we manage. We monitor, we adjust as necessary. So we are taking the 2024 budget back to council at the end of the first for their consideration. It's approximately $44 million budget, just over $15 million general fund that provides public safety, streets, animal control, fire services, and general services out of that general fund. Really important part of our process, in governing for the city and providing services for the city. quite proud of the staff that we have here, bringing a balanced budget to the council that maintains a level of service that communities are accustomed to. And really important portion of it. I hope that our community takes notice and participates in the process. Write us a comment, come to the meeting, contact me, whatever it may be. But we're trying to really provide as much information to the public with monthly budget updates. We put out kind of budget 101, information to our communications department as well, to make sure that we are as transparent as possible with this budget process.
So part of the budget is, always comes up as ad valorem taxes, which is Latin, and it basically means your property taxes. And you're going to take that 1% again?
Yeah, we have recommended the council for the 1%. With that to action again next for the 21st. We're still waiting on the county for final valuations. At this point, our estimate within the city of Shelton, that 1% is somewhere about 30, just under 35. It would benefit you. That 1% problem.
Okay, Mark, you broke up there at the end. What were the numbers again?
Yeah, about $35,000, just under $35,000 for the 1% ad valorem increase for property tax, city of Shelton.
Okay, so that's coming up on the 21st. Next week, you have a study session. All meetings are held in the Civic Center in the courtroom. You can participate in person. You can get on the Zoom and comment that way, or you can just sit back and watch it on the city's YouTube channel. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks a lot.